Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. So children, let us continue with what we were doing last time in Standard 8th, Scholarship. Do you remember? We were doing a lesson in Scholarship English. And what was the name of the lesson? It was lesson number 3.7 from your scholarship textbooks. That is, we were talking about synthesis of sentences. Now, during the last video, when we were recording the last video, we talked about what is the meaning of synthesis in general, what is the meaning of synthesis of sentences, and we also talked about the various types of sentences in detail last time. Okay, we talked about how these sentences are combined, what are the various tools that we use in order to combine the sentences. We had also decided that since the lesson is a really long one, and you will have very difficult grasping all the points at a time, we decided to divide the lesson into two parts. So here I am with part 2 of lesson number 3.7, synthesis. Okay, now last time we discussed about types of sentences, and that was the second time we did it. We have already discussed what are the types of sentences when we talked about the lesson types of sentences. So today we will not be discussing what are the types of sentences in detail, but we will surely take a look at how you can combine sentences using various tools. Alright, and also we had taken a look at some examples from one of the patterns of questions which can be asked in this particular lesson. Today we will take a look at the other patterns as well. Alright, so come on, let's go to the lesson synthesis. And as I just told you, sentences and types of sentences we have done in great detail more than once. So we will not be touching upon them again, but we all know what are simple sentences, what are complex, and what are compound sentences. In case you still have certain doubts, you can pick up these videos which are available on YouTube. Okay, the same videos about types of sentences I have put up a few days earlier, and also in the same lesson we have discussed in detail what are the types of sentences. That is also available for you to see. Now, let's take one more look at the idea of how you combine two or more simple sentences to form another type of sentence. So how is it done? You combine either two simple sentences to make one new simple sentence, you combine two simple sentences to make a compound sentence, or you combine two simple sentences in order to make a complex sentence. So these are the three different things that you can do in synthesis. So come on, let us try and see how they are done. Each one of them we will take them separately. Okay, so to combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence, what do? We use infinitives, participles, nouns, noun phrases, or adverbs and adverb phrases. Alright, so now in this we have discussed what is the meaning of infinitives, what is the meaning of participles, nouns, etc. But we highlighted participles because that might be a new concept. You might have forgotten what you have learned earlier, and we saw that participles means what? Participles means a word that is formed from a verb and it ends in ing or ed. Now when I say ing, for example, I say write, writing, I say read, reading, that becomes the present participle. And when I say walked, W-A-L-K, walk, and W-A-L-K-E-D, walked, then that becomes the past participle. So all these things we had discussed when we talked about how you combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence. Okay, we also took a look at certain examples. So let's take a look at the examples again in the form of revision. So the examples here are, I shall go to the market to buy bangles there. We combine them together and we say, I shall go to the market to buy vegetables. And I have made use of the infinitive here to combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence. Moving on to take a look at some more examples. So you have the cat heard the noise, the cat jumped. So you combine them and say, hearing a noise, the cat jumped. Okay, so the word hearing here is a participle. So you have made use of a participle in order to combine two simple sentences to form yet another simple sentence. Then you have, I consulted Dr. Shah. He is a famous surgeon. So I consulted Dr. Shah, a famous surgeon. Then you have, the lawyer reached the court. He was punctual. So in the previous sentence we have used a noun phrase. Here we will make use of an adverb phrase and we will say, the lawyer reached the court punctually. So this is how you make a simple sentence. You take two simple sentences and combine them together and make a new simple sentence. So this is one important part of synthesis of sentences. Moving on, we talked about how to combine two simple sentences into a compound sentence. This can be done making use of coordinate conjunctions. Okay, and we discussed what the meaning of coordinate conjunctions are. So children, what is the meaning of coordinate conjunctions? A coordinate conjunction is a word that joins two elements or two things of equal grammatical rank. That is, two things which are of equal status. For example, they can join two verbs, they can join two nouns, they can join two adjectives, they can join two phrases, or sometimes they can also join two independent clauses. And what are the coordinating conjunctions? We have 7 coordinating conjunctions. They are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So these are the 7 coordinating conjunctions. We sometimes call them as fanboys also. Fanboys, fanboys. It is a short form to make you so that you remember them. So in the fanboys, the F stands for, the A stands for and, the N stands for nor, the B stands for but, the O stands for are, the Y stands for yet, and the S stands for so. So this is the meaning of coordinate conjunction, and we know that to combine two simple sentences into a compound sentence, we make use of all these coordinating conjunctions. Okay, now moving on, let's take a look at some examples. So you have, she is a teacher and she is an actress. The second sentence is, she is an actress. We will combine them using various ways. So let's see how we have done it. She is a teacher as well as an actress. Then you can say, she is a teacher and an actress. You could also say, she is not only a teacher but also an actress. Okay, so we have made use of coordinating conjunctions. Alright, now we move on to see the next kind of combination, the next kind of synthesis, where we take two simple sentences and we make it into a complex sentence. How do we do that? We do that making use of a subordinate clause. Okay, now what is a subordinate clause? Now we all know that in a sentence which is complex, you will have a main clause and you will have a subordinate clause. So what is the meaning of a subordinate clause? A subordinate clause means that clause which cannot stand on its own. Okay, so that clause always needs the support of the main clause. If there is no main clause, the subordinate clause does not express complete meaning. Subordinate clauses can be adverb clauses, they can be adjective clauses, and they can be noun clauses. So all these also we have done when we talked about clauses. So how do you combine two simple sentences into a complex sentence? By making use of subordinate clauses. Alright, let's take a look at some examples. And like I told you, which are the subordinate clauses? The noun clause, the adjective clause, and the adverb clause. So let's take a look at some examples now. So here is the first one. good communication skills are very important. He knows this. So see, you have combined it in order to make a complex sentence, and you have said he knows that good communication skills are very important. So you have combined them, you have put them together. Okay, take a look at a few more examples. Let's see some more examples here. The old man had to work in a factory. The factory was very dirty. Okay, so how do you combine it to make it complex? You say the old man had to work in a factory which was very dirty. Then you have the next example. He worked hard. He did not like it. So you said, though he worked hard, he did not like it. So see, in the second example, which was very dirty is an adjective clause, which is a subordinate clause. So you have made use of a subordinate clause here to combine the two simple sentences. In the third example, you've made use of an adverb clause, which is again a subordinate clause. Okay, so in this way, we have seen how we can combine simple sentences to form a third simple sentence, to form a compound sentence, or to form a complex sentence. Now we will generally see a number of examples. We'll read them to understand how the combination of sentences or synthesis of sentences is done. So come on, let's take a look at these examples now. Some more examples. Without categorizing them, without putting them into any category, we will just see some more examples. He jumped up, he ran away. Jumping up, he ran away. He was tired of playing, he sat down to rest. Tired of playing, he sat down to rest. Tired of play, sorry. The moon rose, their journey was not ended. Before the journey ended, the moon rose. He has failed many times, he still hopes to win. Having failed many times, he still hopes to win. See, many a times it is not necessary for you to compulsorily remember the category and the definition, etc. If you can write it correctly, if you can speak the language correctly, then half the battle is won. Okay, let's take a look at some more examples. So you have, I have some duties, I must perform them. I have some duties to perform. We must finish this exercise. There are still 3 sentences. We still have 3 sentences in this exercise to finish. Then he deserved to succeed. He failed. He failed undeservedly. So these are all the examples we have seen in general about how sentences are synthesized. Okay, now let's take a look at the question patterns once again. So pattern 1 is pick out the correct simple sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. Pattern 2 is pick out the correct compound sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. Pattern 3 is pick out the correct complex sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. Then in the fourth pattern, you slightly change the pattern and you say, pick out the method by which the two simple sentences are combined. So you have to choose which is the method that they have used in order to combine them. And finally, you have to do as directed. So whatever the individual question tells you, you have to try and solve it as per the demand of the question. Okay, now remember, the first type of pattern we have already done in the previous video. So we will directly now start with pattern 2, pattern 3, pattern 4, and we will go to pattern 5 in the end. So what was the first pattern, children, if you remember? We saw how you can combine 2 simple sentences and make a new one. Okay, so 2 simple sentences were given to you and the combination also was given to you. There were 4 options, so you had to decide which one is the correct combination. Okay, so come on, let's move on. And let's see pattern 2 from now. So pick out the correct compound sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. So here are the simple sentences for you. He is slow, he is perfect. So these are the 2 simple sentences. You will have to combine these 2 and form a compound sentence. So we already have four options. We have already tried our hand at doing it. But now we have to decide which of these options is the correct one. That's it. Okay, so come on, let's start by looking at the options. So we have option 1, 2, 3 and 4. So being perfect, he is slow. He is slow, but he is perfect. Then we have, though he is slow, he is perfect. And finally, being slow, he is perfect. So let's see which one will be the correct compound sentence that you can form by combining these two simple sentences. So it will be option number 2. He is slow, but he is perfect. Remember the coordinate conjunction but? So he is slow, but he is perfect. So we have combined these two simple sentences, making use of the coordinate conjunction but. Okay, come on. Now let's go to the next example. That is example 2 here for this pattern, but example 7 in this entire video series. He works hard. He was unhappy at the start. Options are here for you. He works hard because he was unhappy at the start. He works hard though he was unhappy at the start. He works hard but he was unhappy at the start. Although he works hard, he was unhappy at the start. So out of these 4 sentences, which one is the correct one? It is option number 1, 2, 3 or 4. It is option number 3. He works hard, but he was unhappy at the start. So in the beginning, he was not very happy about this work. Nevertheless, he started working and he works hard also. Okay, moving on to question number 8 here. He is not clever. He is not proud. So, he is either clever or proud. He is neither clever or but proud. Though he is clever, he is not proud. He is neither clever nor proud. So what is it? How is the cleverness and pride mixed up here? So is 1, 2, 3 or 4 the right answer? It is option number 4. He is neither clever nor proud. Remember, we had discussed that the meaning of the sentence shouldn't change. Alright, so the 4th one, it has combined the 2 sentences to make it compound, and also it has maintained the meaning. He is neither clever nor proud. So both these qualities are not there in him. He is neither clever nor proud. Moving on to the next one, the second last example in this particular pattern. I rang the bell, no one answered. So here are the 4 options for you. I rang the bell, but no one answered. Even though I rang the bell, no one answered. I rang the bell as no one answered. I rang the bell, yet no one answered. So which could be the right answer? It is the first one. I rang the bell, but no one answered. Okay? So in spite of me ringing the bell, no one is answering it. That is what I am trying to say. Next, last one here in this pattern. Make haste. You will be late. Make haste means hurry up or you will be late. Let's see how this can be combined. Make haste or you will be late. Make haste and you will be late. Make haste because you will be late. Though you make haste, you will be late. So remember, the meaning shouldn't change. So option number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Which one will be the correct one? It will be option number 1 again. Make haste or you will be late. So you say either you hurry up or you're going to miss your train. So make haste, hurry up or you will be late. Okay. Now we come to the next pattern of questions, that is pattern 3. Pick out the correct complex sentence formed by synthesizing the given sentences. So you have 11. He will be hungry, that is certain. So though he will be hungry, he will be certain. It is certain that he will be hungry. He will be hungry and certain. He is certainly hungry. So which is the correct compound sentence? It is option number 2. It is certain that he will be hungry. Okay. Coming to the next example in this pattern, where we are forming a complex sentence, okay, by combining two simple sentences together. So the previous example, the one which we saw, we have formed a complex sentence. It is certain that he will be hungry. So he will be hungry is the independent clause. It is certain that is the, you can say, subordinate clause. Moving on again, like I said, she keeps her money in a box. This is the box. So let's see which is the correct complex sentence. So is it, this is the money in which she keeps her box? She keeps her money which is in the box. She keeps her money in this box. Or this is the box in which she keeps her money. So which is the correct complex sentence here? It is option number 4. This is the box in which she keeps the money. So it is a noun clause actually. So we are talking about the box. Okay. Moving on to the next example. He is right. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that he is right. I'm sure of his rightness. Though he is right, I'm sure of it. He is right and I'm sure of it. So which will be the correct answer? It will be example number 1 or option number 1. I'm sure that he is right. Okay. Coming on and moving on to the next example here. The test was over. The boys celebrated. Two simple sentences. So you have to find out which is the correct complex sentence that will be formed by combining these two simple sentences. So here are your 4 options. Option number 1. The boys celebrated when the test was over. The test was over and the boys celebrated. The test being over, the boys celebrated. The boys celebrated the conclusion of the test. So which one is the correct complex sentence? It is sentence number 1, option number 1, which says the boys celebrated when the test was over. So see, the test is over. After the test is over, they decided to celebrate. So when the test was over, the boys celebrated. Coming to the last example where we will combine these two simple sentences to form a complex sentence. Here are your options. The house was very expensive. They bought it. So will it become, they bought a very expensive house. Though the house was very expensive, they bought it. Though the house was very expensive, they bought it, with a comma. However expensive the house was, they bought it. So option number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Which one is the correct one? It is option number 3. Though the house was very expensive, they bought it. So they bought it is the main clause. Though the house was very expensive is the subordinate clause. Alright. So these were how you change or how you combine two simple sentences to form a compound and complex sentence. Now we move on to a pattern where we will have to try and pick up a method. We will have to identify the method which was used in order to combine the two simple sentences. Okay, so come on, let's see. So these are the two simple sentences. The lamb heard a noise, the lamb darted off. And this is the combined one. That is, this is the answer. Hearing a noise, the lamb darted off. So what have you done here? Which method have you used? Have you used an infinitive? Have you used a participle? Have you used a noun phrase or an adverb phrase? So what is the method that you have used in order to combine these two sentences? So hearing a noise, the lamb darted off. In this case, we have made use of a participle. Okay, you've added ing to the verb and we have used it as a participle. So understood the pattern of the question? Coming to the next example here. Midas was a greedy king. He lived to regret his greed. So Midas, a greedy king, lived to regret his greed. So now come on, decide what method is used, by using an infinitive, by using a participle, by using a noun phrase, or by using an adverb. What have you done here? What have you used? You have made use of a greedy king, which is a noun phrase, in order to combine these two simple sentences. So option number 3 is the right one. The next example. He refused to listen to me. He was firm. This is the answer, the combined sentence. He firmly refused to listen to me. These are your methods, by using an infinitive, by using a participle, by using a noun phrase, or by using an adverb. So what have you used here? Very simple, isn't it? We have made use of the adverb firmly. He refused to listen to me. But how did he refuse? He refused firmly. The manner which he refused was very, very firm. Okay? So we have made use of an adverb here to combine these two simple sentences. Moving on to the next one. I have some questions. I must ask them. This is the answer. I have some questions to ask. So is it obvious? Is it easy now for you at this stage to find out what is the tool or what is the method? So by using an infinitive, by using a participle, by using a noun phrase, or by using an adverb. What have you done? We have made use of an infinitive. We have said to ask, which is an infinitive. Okay, coming to the last example in this pattern. The woman was very cunning. She was not liked. So this is the combined sentence. The woman was too cunning to be liked. So what have you done? Have you used an infinitive, a participle, a noun phrase, or an adverb? What have you used? You have made use of an infinitive. To be liked, okay, is an infinitive. So this was the second last pattern, children. Now we go to the last pattern where you do as directed. So see, change the given compound sentence into a simple sentence. He took off his clothes and jumped into the river. So you have to change the compound sentence which is given here into a simple sentence. So which will be the simple sentence? Let's take a look. Having took off his clothes, he jumped into the river. He took off and jumped into the river. Taking off his clothes, he jumped into the river. He jumped into the river and took off. So now you must be knowing very well which the answer is after doing so much of practice. It is the third one. Taking off his clothes, he jumped into the river. So we made use of a participle here. Next, again, change the given complex sentence into a simple sentence. So you're supposed to make a change. This is the complex sentence. You have to make it simple. All that glitters is not gold. So it glitters and it is not gold. It glitters and it is gold. Gold is all that glitters. All glittering things are not gold. So which is the simple sentence here? Which will be the correct simple sentence here? It is the fourth one. All glittering things are not gold. Okay. The next one, here is a sentence. Everybody knows that man is mortal. But now it is a complex sentence which you have to change into a compound one. Okay. So let's see. Knowing that man is mortal is everybody.
Man is mortal and this fact everybody knows. Man knows that everybody is mortal and man knows that he is mortal. So which one is the correct combination? Which one is the correct answer? Which is the correct compound sentence? It is the second one. Man is mortal and this fact everybody knows. Going to the next question. Again, you have to change the simple sentence into a complex one. He felt sorry on finding out his mistake. So, is it he felt sorry when he found out his mistake? He felt sorry when he found out his mistake. He felt sorry for his mistake. He made a mistake and he was sorry. So, which is the correct complex sentence? It is the first one. He felt sorry when he found out his mistake. Okay? Coming to the last question in this pattern, question 25. I am responsible for what I do. Now this is a given complex sentence. You have to change it into a simple one. Let's see. I do things and I am responsible for it. I am doing my work responsibly. I am responsible for my actions. I take responsibility for my work. So which one is the correct answer? It is the third one. I am responsible for my actions is a simple sentence. Okay, children. So see, we have done the 4 patterns which we had left out last time. Alright. So in this entire video, that is in 2 parts, we have done synthesis, where we looked at types of sentences, we looked at how you can synthesize sentences, we also looked at the various patterns of questions which could be asked, and we saw so many examples. Alright, see, this video has gone into more than an hour, and that is the reason that we have split it up into 2. So what you will do is, after watching the video, try and answer the questions and try to do the task also which I have set for you.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions. And note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.